Well, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back. George Morgan here at your service. It's PSGL, it's Wednesday night, it's Spain tonight as well. Lots on the table, lots of battling. The title contest is still alive and kicking. And Jack, it's only taken us 10 rounds. We're on the 11th. It's all to play for.
Boromant goes on the inside and takes the lead on the final lap of the race. Now it's side by side between Boromant and Warner, but Boromant's got the inside.
A guest star here in this phenomenal race. Cameron Dowd looking to take P2 in his very first PSGL F1 PC race. Incredible to say the least. You see that Putin still lead. 1.5 seconds. DRS is the name.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to some of our favourite racing here. PSGL F6 here for round 6. I know. Who would have thought? Round 6, F6. Should have been for a good race, man. But, as usual, oh dear, my camera seems to be having a bit of a mare. But
it's always the case. It's back.
It's back. For how long? I'm not too sure. It's gone again. Oh dear, this is... Just
started well.
But,
let me take over while Josh fixes his problems. Has Josh fixed his problems?
Should be fixed. I hope so.
Okay, carry on, Josh. Carry on.
Welcome. I'm here with Alex. Here, over to my side.
How you doing?
With,
Hello, I'm waving at you.
A lovely fresh hairdo. My camera is absolutely not having this for some reason.
No, your camera is not working at all. I don't know what's going on with that. That was weird. Josh has not been having any problems recently, and now today, when we start PSGL, we have a problem. But anyway, yeah. Hello everyone. While Josh fixes his problems, I will quickly carry on talking. Has he fixed it now? Or is he
no.
back?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
You haven't
Yeah.
frozen yet.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah. Gone.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
back. Why is this happening? I have absolutely no idea. But
yeah.
Alex, you got a lovely fresh trim. Loving it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Freshly
Well,
dyed. But
well,
yours
Josh,
truly as well.
Yeah, yours truly. Well, before we carry on, of course we're in Suzuka today. Now, we couldn't think of a bit to do for Suzuka. You know, we like to do a bit of funny bits. And I came up with a bit, and I haven't told Josh what it is yet.
And I don't like that.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have to wish a very happy birthday to Josh. As you can see, I've got him a cake here with his candle in. And not only to that, I've also got one of these. Right, you ready?
Is that a camera? Oh no.
It's a pot. It's a pop thing. So I haven't really
no.
done. Oh my god! Jeez. That went off loud. What?
My word.
Well, stars came out of it for you. There you go.
Thank you. Hopefully we're in for a star of a race here, let's say.
Jesus, that literally went all over me. That was quite explosive. But don't worry, I'm going to set another one off before we start.
Oh no.
Hang on. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh.
Whew.
To add a bit of context to those who might not be in the loop, it was my birthday on Wednesday. Wednesday?
Yeah.
Tuesday. It was one of the days.
Tuesday.
I don't know. I drank some apple juice.
How old were you, Josh?
I don't want to convey that information. I look perfectly young as I am.
He's 13 today.
13. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I know.
Got a great beard for a
Time
13-year-old.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'm gonna eat this cake.
22.
If you don't mind.
Absolutely
This
go
is,
for it.
you know-
Diabetic, can't have it anyway. But appreciate the
okay.
thought.
Yeah, that was a thought.
Yeah.
I wanted a party hat, but we couldn't find any.
No, you're just gonna sit on the cam eating while mine's freezing, just go.
No, I'll eat it
great
later.
cake, great cake.
Oh,
But
I'm literally covered in. Carry on. Let me clear this bit up here.
but no, last week we did have an absolutely amazing race around Austria, and I'll be able to pull up the driver standings for you guys while Alex is currently headbutting his camera. As we saw,
Sorry.
Napadovsky, we said it and we called it last week, saying he didn't finish off the podium so far in the season. Turns out, as soon as we say that, he finishes off the podium, and it led way to perhaps one of the most dominant team performances we've seen for a while here in F6. With the Red Bulls managing to pick up P1 and P2, and they gave us a beautiful insight in their interview, just giving us a little lay of the land and understanding how well they work together and understanding why they rebound off each other so much. Sparky was able to come out on top, but Dustin wasn't too far behind, and I reckon with a little bit of ERS and a little bit more trickery, we could see something very similar here today around the historic 3.6 mile track of Suzuka. But of course, we do have to swap it over as naturally as we can to the constructor standings, where we can still see the Alpines. They're still there.
They're still on top.
They're always there, aren't they? Let's be
They're
honest
doing a
with
good
you.
job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only 13 points separating the Red Bull and the Alpines, and we know they've got a bit of history between each other in real life, especially due to the likes of Daniel Ricciardo hopping ship and the engine debacle. But no.
The Renault engine debacle. I remember that.
Yes.
Simpler times.
And also, we should give out a little mention as well to one of the Alfa Romeos who's not here with us this week. It's El Puma, who had an interesting race, let's say, last week. It was
Yeah, that's the best explanation of what happened last week.
Very interesting. Obviously,
very interesting indeed.
We had some big wins due to the safety car El Puma brought out, but we also had some huge losses. Comes to mind the hard tyre runner, right up top of the field, and unfortunately it did ruin his race, and that is one of the reasons why whenever you retire you're supposed to do it in the pits, not on track. But
yes,
Suzuka. Now, I've got a love-hate relationship with this track. Alex knows exactly why. He brought it up earlier, and he teased me with it.
Well, should we bring it up now? Should we, let's
do we
just
have to
let
get
the
it
whole
out?
world know.
Come on, get it out.
Let's
of the
get
way.
it out
of the way.
Well, obviously, as we know, first of all, Josh, you'll know very clearly that the most wins around this circuit is held by one man and one man alone. Some will say the GOAT of Formula One, and I would agree with that. He has 6 victories around this circuit, stemming all the way from 95 to 2004. And there was a certain race in 2006, Suzuka, where he was leading quite comfortably, put it on pole position ahead of rival Fernando. He was taking the lead in the driver's standing, and then his Ferrari engine did an Italian and exploded on him. And that ended Michael Schumacher's chance of an 8th world title on the spot.
That happened.
That did happen. Yeah.
I don't feel too well. I might have to call Connor and Jess in here to take over the spot. I feel a bit sick.
It was a tough moment for little Josh.
Yeah,
back in the day.
I will not lie. Little Josh cried many nights in a row after that race.
Who wouldn't? If it was my favorite driver, I'd do the same thing.
Fernando didn't.
Fernando was very happy. He did a little dance afterwards as well.
Don't need to remind me, man. I know. Yeah, no. But yeah, enough Josh bullying out the way. I believe it should be best to check you out to the track guide while some of the cars are coming out on track to do their installation laps.
Ugh. Right, here we are around Suzuka for a qualifying run through. And onto the power, up into 6th gear and 7th. You want to aim for 8th gear down the back straight as we start a qualifying lap here. So down the back straight, heading towards turn 1. You can brake quite late on the brakes here into the corner and then get on the power quite quickly due to the massive amounts of downforce these ground effect cars make. Through the Suzuka S section now, in 6th gear. Careful not to lose the rear end of the car there. My setup is a lot different to the setup the guys will be running in PSGL. But now through the left-hander, gain the power on very quickly. Already up into 7th gear. Double apex corner. Very tricky to run wide here and actually ground your car. But didn't do it there. And the drivers, I assume, won't do it on Thursday. Heavy braking zone here. Down into 2nd gear. And you want to get the power on as soon as you can. Short shift up into 4th. And then keep shifting. Don't stop shifting up into 8th gear. And then through the left-hander now. Shift down into 6th. Get the power back on. Very easy to go wide here on the right-hand side. But drivers will run out on that curb. And now through the second to last major part of the circuit into 130R, one of the best corners in Formula 1. Don't let it go of the throttle whatsoever. And now into the tricky small chicane here in the final section of the track into the 2nd gear. And then shift up all the way to the line. Get close to the corner to cut the distance to the line. And it's a 1:27.3. And that is your lap around Suzuka.
Thank you so very much for Alex for that beautiful lap. Very competitive lap time, but I expect to see some of these cars pop slightly quicker lap times here as we're on board with Julio Figueroa. I believe I have nailed that pronunciation, and I sound really way too proud of myself for doing so. But we can see him here on a hot lap, and as you mentioned, going up here into the Degner, it's so easy to invalidate your lap times.
Yeah, it's also so easily to spin as a few attempts of that flying lap were cut out from the final product.
Yeah, you guys didn't have to do the editing. Trust me, there was a few.
There was a few. It's very tricky to not invalidate and not go wide up that corner. I don't expect anyone to go wheel to wheel through there, but you never know. You might see it. But yeah, Julio on a good lap. Now I'm a big fan, Julio. I have used his setups in time trials, and have also tried to beat his time trial laps unsuccessfully on many occasions. I got close in Monaco once, but that was as close as I ever got. He's a very fast driver.
Get a load of Alex here, guys. Nicking all your setups, honestly. Start charging him. Start charging them for him.
Charge me for setup stealing.
But Julio coming around the Casio triangle to this beautiful sweeping right-hander, which puts it back on the grid with a 27.2.
Does that beat my lap time?
I think it does.
I can't remember what my lap time was.
I don't want to put you in the mud, but I believe it absolutely smashes your lap time.
Yeah,
but
it might do.
Someone we should probably keep an eye on here is last week's winner, Sparky. He's got 2 on the trot now. He'll be looking to try and make it 3 on the trot.
Oh my god.
I know, he's had a bit of a tear so far.
Well, I was looking at Daniel's lap time, sorry. 26.4. Oh, well.
Uh-oh. The nap's
it's
out.
The
napper's
nap's
out. He is back. He does not want to finish off a podium this week. Let's just try our best not to commentary curse too many people as well this week.
Yeah, we did. We managed to commentate curse quite a few people last weekend. Wow, even faster lap time. So yeah, these guys have actually smashed my lap time into 126 into 126s already. So we obviously saw a Ferrari 1-2 here. Sorry, in Austria last weekend.
A Red Bull,
do you know when the last? Do you know when the last? Sorry, no, Ferrari 1-2 in qualifying.
Oh yes, absolutely. We did get that.
Do you remember when the last Ferrari 1-2 was around Suzuka?
No. That is this going to cause me a world of pain again?
It's 2006.
Right, if we keep bringing up 2006, I'm going to send you back to 2006 in a minute, Sunshine, right? But no, as we can see, Danny coming up here to the hairpin, one of the best overtaking opportunities of this entire track. Now, it's a historic track. We've seen a lot of dive bombs up there. I mean, all it has to do is we go look back to yesterday. We see Freddie Rasmussen pulling off some brilliant moves in F1, and it'll be interesting to see if any of the drivers here are looked into that race, saw a couple of the strategies, and thought, hey, you know what? Freddie on those fresher tyres towards the end was absolutely outrageous. But yeah, no, he almost did an Alex. He almost lost the rear going there.
Yeah,
no,
it's very easy to do so.
Yeah, one of the most characteristic corners on the entire Suzuka is that 130R, the one where it causes me more pain than joy to just look at that track and look at the broadcast camera.
Yeah, 130R is a fantastic corner. Fantastic overtaking opportunity as well. That was a very competitive lap time from Danny Coe, but unfortunately it was invalidated, so he won't get it on the board. But it was in the 126s.
He
hasn't got enough ERS though.
Yeah, something I'm just going to flash here for the lovely ladies and gentlemen sitting at home, relaxing, enjoying your wonderful Thursday evening. The ERS around here, there's no possible way you can do 2 fast laps. Just purely
it drains
because
very quickly.
This entire first sector, the only braking point you've really got is turn 1 and turn 3. And then the rest of it, you're just lifting, you're letting the car scrub the speed off, which really makes it... Your next braking point's up way up at turn 8 of the Degner curve as Danny gets another invalidation, but I'm fairly confident he will not mind that one. I don't think he'll mind that one at all.
Yeah, I don't think he was really pushing for that second push lap there. He might have been. That could have been quite frustrating. But there you go. So one of the Ferraris, Adam here.
I'll tell you what. We're gonna swap over to Sanger real quick here because he's
Sanger
putting a lap
only 10 seconds off the pace. But I imagine that's a bit of a cool down lap, and then going for a push lap.
Yeah, he's been able to keep the battery there, so we will know Sanger's going for it once again, and we've got the pronunciation correct.
Yes, Sanger.
It's took us, I think, what, 6 weeks? We got there.
6 rounds, but I got a nice message from him last weekend, just saying that we actually did get his pronunciation correct, which is what I always like to see. Obviously, if drivers want to tell us how we're doing our names wrong, just tell us nicely. There's no need to be mean about it. Not to say that anyone has been mean about it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, unless it's Alex, and then you can message him all sort of horrible things because he keeps bringing up 2006 and that terrible Formula 1 season I so desperately hate. But
it was a decent Formula 1 season, wasn't it?
It's just because you're going back and watching it, mate.
Well, I am watching it. Yeah, I'm watching it with rose-tinted glasses from this season's Formula One.
It's definitely something you're going to need to do. But Sanya here, coming through, keeps it nice on track there. Kept
So
it
much
well
wider than
within the burden, and that's just enabling him to carry so much speed coming up here to 130R, which these cars just take comfortably flat. I'm just going to have to add, which I find is absolutely outrageous. Going into the casino triangle here, with a little rear lockup there, drifting the car around. I said to Alex before the stream, how many times do you reckon I'm going to call it the casino triangle instead of the Casio triangle? Strike one already. But Sanya,
Right, you called it that on lap 1 as well.
I would not surprise me. Sanya ends up getting himself back into a more useful position, one where it's more likely to see Sanya properly start the race from. Gets up into the top 5, but does have to be mentioned, we've only got 15 cars here today, which is a little bit of a shame, but everyone
Still a good turnout.
Yeah, everyone knows sometimes the be-all and end-all isn't sim racing for a lot of people's lives. A lot of people come here to do it for fun. A lot of people come here to do it for a profession. There's a lovely mix, and obviously sometimes, not all the times, you're going to have other priorities. I mean, I know personally, sometimes I'll end up having other priorities rather than committing to a stream. It's one of those horrible ways of life, but we've got Adam back in the pits though, without being able to set a valid lap time. But we do have a lot of these drivers out on the outlaps already.
Yeah, a lot of drivers coming out for their second attempts of their flying laps. 3 people yet to set lap time. Stephen Fruhar back on the grid with Danny Coe and Adam, as we mentioned, yet to set lap times in the session. But everyone's looking pretty competitive, I won't lie. Once again, it's just proving how close we are, how close everyone is together, which is absolutely fantastic. This is what we love to see in our motorsport. But Napadowski looking pretty decent through here so far. It's good to see how everyone is doing at the moment.
Yeah, Napadowski entering Degner, already a 10th up with a potential purple sector. I'm going to say potential because we know there's a little glitch on the game. But
well, no, he has put a lap on the board, which means that is a purple sector 1.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure.
It's
F1
only a
23 is
glitch.
wild.
Well, there is a lot of wild bugs in this game, but I know that there is only a glitch when if you haven't done a lap time, and it basically tells you that's your purple sector 1, not anyone else's. So if he says it's purple sector 2, then it likely is a faster lap time, and I expect Napadowski to put a faster lap time on the board anyway. So let's see what this man do. I wonder why there's no DRS down this straight. It's a very curious thing. Maybe because it goes into the flat 130R and they're worried about potential issues, but they can take that curve flat out now, so I wonder why not.
I mean, if there's DRS failure, they're not taking that flat out and they're lost for rear and we're into the wall. That'll probably be the reason why, to be honest. But
well,
I don't think
it's a good lap.
Yeah. Okay, Alex, do you want to retire your sim racing boots, mate? You've just been smashed.
It's almost a second faster.
Come
almost
on,
2 seconds faster.
come and join me. Give it up. Come full-time commentary.
This is the curtain call right here. But no, Napadowski is an incredibly quick driver on 1 lap pace. And to be fair, on race pace as well. So Sparky, I think, has just finished a lap, or is he pushing on a lap right now?
No,
He doesn't have a look at DRS left.
I believe he's finished his lap and he's gracefully taking that car around. Try not to destroy the tyres, but I do have a lovely, interesting fact we discovered slightly earlier today about this beautiful place, Suzuka. Just outside the track, there is a place called the Tyre Graveyard. And it's not as morbid as it sounds. It's a beautiful place where they keep all different sorts of tyres from different racing events, which has happened throughout the entire history of the Suzuka track.
Yeah.
And they're able to collect all the tyres, have them all stacked up, so when you walk past, you can go through and look at all the tyres which are built up around, and reminisce really on some of the old supercar races we had here. And more importantly, the older F1 races, because some of those tyres are absolutely huge in comparison to today. They look so heavy.
Bridgestone and Pirelli, not Pirelli, Bridgestone and Michelin tyres, and also the ones, as you said, even further back in the day. But yeah, it's a fantastic place. This is one of the circuits I think I'd love to go to in real life, because it has that famous figure of 8, one of only a few figure 8 tracks in the world that do this, which I think is fantastic. I say this is very much a driver's favourite, isn't it? Everyone who drives this circuit says, I'm a big fan of it. I personally think it's all right. I didn't think in the last year's game it was amazing. but I don't think a lot of things in last year's game was amazing. So
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that'll
it's
come.
a great track.
Yeah, and it's beautiful to have it back on the PSGL calendar. We've gone 3
Mm.
seasons without seeing Suzuka here. And if yesterday was anything to go by, we're in for an absolute cracking race, and I'm really looking forward to it. But something the drivers are really struggling with at the minute are track limits. Don't get confused.
I did mention it.
It's not
Yeah.
Austria. This is Suzuka.
No.
The track limits are absolutely horrendous at some parts of this track. But hopefully, fingers crossed, a little bit of unpredictable weather. We're a little bit used to it around Suzuka.
Did that AlphaTauri go into the ground? Is there like a large bump going into the AlphaTauri garage?
Yeah, that's a beautiful fact about Suzuka, is that the main pit straight is a hill. So in order to have the pit boxes, they've got like elevated pit boxes, so the cars can stay flat. Otherwise, the front jackman would end up getting pushed down the road.
Well, and sometimes they are anyway. But Stephen Fruhart put in a lap time we were talking, went third fastest, a 10th off of Napadowski's lap time. So the Ferrari's currently 7th and 14th. Ferrari actually have a record of I think it's the not the most constructor wins around here. That goes to Mercedes. They have the most constructor victories around here. But an interesting fact as well for you, Josh. There was every season that Formula One has been to Japan, it is raced in Suzuka, bar 2 seasons. Do you know what track that they raced at instead?
It's the one and only Mount Fuji. One of my favourite tracks of all time. Being able to whack an old school F1 car or even an LMP or a GT car around there is absolutely fantastic. I'd implore all of you guys after the stream, go and try it. Try it on your AMS. Try it on your set of courses. It's absolutely fantastic. And honestly, when it comes to great tracks around the world, Japan has got way too many to not deserve 2 Grand Prix. I mean, I know America's getting 3, if not already has 3 technically, right? Just depends whether Vegas ends up getting cancelled last minute.
Yeah, well, I don't think it will.
No.
There's too much money invested in that place to have it cancelled last minute. But yeah, so Sanga is on a lap here, or about to start a flying lap. This will be their last lap of the session as well, with 2 minutes 40 left on the clock. They're not going to get another lap on the board.
And,
so
I don't want to be that dude. Look at the
traffic!
traffic!
Traffic paradise for the Ferrari man. But should we stay on board with for Sanga here as he goes for his flying lap?
Absolutely.
And he invalidates. So he won't, actually.
So
we instantly commentator cursed him, and he didn't even begin his lap.
Yep. It's mighty unfortunate, I'm not going to lie. But something which also the other Ferrari driver, Adam, is going to have to be very painfully aware of is all these cars going very slowly. If he ends up catching them going up to 130R, or even the Casio Triangle, it could spell trouble for his lap time. So Adam's just taking it nice and slow. And then he comes out the end of Casio Triangle, and this is where he goes for a full throttle. So let's ride on board here with Adam and the Ferrari.
Yes. So Adam, our surprise pole position from last week.
I mean, you say surprise. I wouldn't necessarily say it's too much of a surprise. He's an absolutely brilliant, rapid driver. It's just sometimes in the race he gets a little bit unfortunate. And I think that could be said for both of the Ferrari drivers here, the Swiss duo. They get very unfortunate in the races, but it's never the end of the world. As I believe Adam's abandoned this lap.
Already abandoned his lap. I wonder if that's just a case of burning off some fuel and maybe not wanting to catch traffic. That kind of makes sense. Well, here it is. Our AlphaTauri, our one and only AlphaTauri in this session. Obviously, it is technically a home race for them because they have they used to have the Honda engines in the back of them, but technically they are still powered by Honda.
But it's still got Honda sponsorship
as well.
Yeah, it's still got Honda sponsorship. Yeah, no, that's
in 2026, I believe.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one, won't it, with Aston Martin?
Aston Martin, yes. I wonder if Fernando Alonso will want another Honda experience in his life.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind it as much now.
Oh my god.
Yannick,
Yannick taking a bit of a scenic route towards the wall, but I think that was just a graphical error. And
right, we said no more cast cursing, Alex. Did you not understand?
I can't help myself.
Yannick, unfortunately, they're getting a little twisted, little crossways there. I guess we're just going to have to watch out for this bridge and see if Danico does anything similar.
Well, Danico isn't a man to crack under pressure. I'm sure he'll put in a solid lap time here in the McLaren. Currently 15th. on the positions, but of course he hasn't set a lap time yet. Danny Coe, we proved that he could set a very competitive lap time. I'm sure he'll move himself up a few more positions. McLaren looking very strong in real life towards the end of end of the summer break, before the summer break kicked off, and Danny Coburn looking strong in the last few races. Looked very strong in race pace in Austria, so it'll be interesting to see what lap time he can do here. 109.9 in the middle sector, now through 130R, flat to the floor, as we said. There's no lifting at all there, through the wobbly chicane, as I'm going to call it from now on. Danny Coe through the final corner, crosses the line, does a 26.3, moves him up to 4th place. That's a very good lap time. The Ferrari next across the line. Sanga puts it on the front row, 36,000, separating him and the pole sitter.
Where's Napadovsky?
Napadovsky, he's a 10th up on his lap time as well. He's going to improve here. Can anyone beat him? He's got the Red Bulls in front of him. Let's see what the Red Bulls can do first. Vincent goes on to pole position by 7,000ths of a second.
It's not going to be enough.
And it's not going to be enough because Napadovsky takes pole position with a 25.9. Alvaro Fernandez can't beat him. Steven Frujar has invalidated his lap time. Is there anyone else pushing?
It might just be down to Lundell here. We know Lundell can put in a banger of a lap time as he approaches the Casio triangle here, trying to take such a wide entrance to the circuit, try and carry as much speed as possible. Almost losing the rear there as he's trying to get the power down as soon as possible. Keeps it nice and close to the line here, and he's going to come through, pop himself up into P8. I'll tell you what.
Wow.
It looks like that's all she wrote, unless Figueroa here can end up pulling out a cheeky, unless he can time travel. I mean, perhaps Adam invalidated his lap time there.
No, he might have done. He might have done. Well, that means Adam is starting 15th and set a lap time that's 24 seconds off of the leader, Napadovsky. And from pole position last weekend for Adam, he starts plumb last in the Japanese Grand Prix here at Suzuka.
But we know Suzuka's a great place for overtaking, and I'm not sure about you, Alex, but when I overtake people, I like to do it in comfort, and I like to do it in style. And the only way I think anyone could do that here at the PSGL is by sitting in one of our sponsors' chairs at GT Omega. Absolutely beautiful. So I'll let you guys take a look at a couple of the chairs and the sim rigs. They're so beautifully crafted and well designed. As it is back to us there. We know Suzuka's great for some brilliant moves, and we know there's a lot in store here for this race, as there is in every race here in the F6 division of PSGL. But
yes,
Suzuka's one of those tracks where if you're on fire, you know you're on fire. We've seen it with the likes of Kimi Räikkönen in the past. I mean, no mention
2005.
Fernando as well. Honestly, some of the drives around here have been absolutely phenomenal, but I do believe the drivers are currently adjusting their setups and getting themselves on the grid. So,
something I would like to mention before we start. You obviously mentioned Kimi Räikkönen there. With Adam down in 15th, Kimi Räikkönen came from 18th in 2005 to win the race on the last lap. Obviously, it's not 18th this week for Adam, but can he do something similar? That would be quite an achievement.
I mean, end of the day, we're not going to know until we end up getting into the race. But I'm going to put you here. You can see the slight bumps on the pit lane going down, just to make sure the drivers can pull in safely and not end up taking anyone's legs off. Which,
exactly.
It'd be a bit of a travesty.
It would be, yeah, just slightly.
It would be
definitely
absolutely horrible.
Well, we are getting ready to start the race. Looks like it's a dry race as well. Obviously, changeable conditions can affect Suzuka. We've actually had races rained off due to tsunamis before. But anyway, here we go. 5 red lights for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's lights out. And away we go here. There's a good start from Napadovsky, and he's ahead of Dustin Vincent, who covers off the Ferrari of Sanya. As we go into turn 1, Sanya up the inside of the Red Bull. We saw Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen crash here a few years ago, but no crashing this time. And we've got some wheel-to-wheel battles. Sparky versus Fruha. As Fruha goes all the way around the outside. There's not enough room there, surely, for Fruha. He backs off again. Got a very mix of tyres here. This is a lot of battles going up and down the grid.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely brilliant to see so many drivers taking different ideologies and different strategies into this race. We're going to see a lot of overtakes happening and a lot of on-track battles. We'll probably end up seeing the hard tyres fall down the order a little bit and the softs climb up slowly, but I would expect the mediums to stay roughly on pace, and this will all come down to a battle as we see a very late move there from the Haas car. On the Alfa Romeo, Daniel, he was getting his elbows out there with a little dive bomb there, but predicted for a one-stop here for the medium to hards, but we've seen drivers do remarkable things in this league, and we've seen hards to soft work in order to get a race win. It comes to mind with Silverstone as well. Just stretching the tyres out until the rain comes. Now, the drivers expected to go single file through 130R in the first lap. They do.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful.
They're not gonna make a move, but Stephen Fruha might make a move around the Daniel might make a move around the outside of Danny Coe. Fantastic move around the outside of Danny Coe, who is on that set of hard tyres. But Daniel has made his move, and Stephen Fruha will make his move on Lundell as well. Lundell down to 6th, Fruha up to 5th. He was battling with Sparky for 4th position at the start of the race, but unfortunately had to back out of it. There was just no, you can't make two cars go into one into the S section of Suzuka.
I mean, we saw it tried before, but never really worked out too great, did it? But
no.
Something which might not also work out great is the Red Bulls. They're very close together on track. Now, I'm not sure whether they're going to end up splitting a strategy or deciding to take different roles here, perhaps trying to create a little bit more distance and help Dustin catch back up. But we know both of them love to spend time together in the voice call, practice together, they train together. So surely they've trained for a scenario where they're sitting P3, P4, they're having to try and use those harder tyres and probably stretch them and look after them until the softs hit their graining phase. Then they'll be able to push on those medium tyres, be able to catch back up, get back in the DRS of Sanya and Napadovsky, and really try and mount some sort of offensive. As I believe we saw a car.
Fruha, sorry, I drew breath there as Fruha really made a mistake coming out of the corner. I think he got away with it. As Daniel's going to go around the outside of 130R. Where have we seen that move before? Daniel into 6th position ahead of Lundell. Excellent round the outside of 130R there, Josh.
I'm going to cry myself to sleep. Thank you, Alex. As Sanya comes through with the fastest lap, showing he is closing up to the back of Napadovsky. The Nap isn't all that in racecraft, it would seem. He was all that in the qualifying session, but Sanya's able to keep pace with him, close the distance, set fastest laps. Now it'll be whether Sanya can be able to put the pressure on Napadovsky, try and force Napadovsky into an error. We've seen it around here before, where errors are so costly. Even going into the S section, there's very few tracks in the world. Fortunately, we've been fortunate enough to be able to get 2 of them, where the corners kind of all merge together. So if you end up making a mistake in one of them, you're losing time throughout all of them. And it's an absolutely fascinating thing to watch drivers follow one another, having the confidence and the faith that the other drivers in front and behind will perfectly nail the apexes so they can race so closely together. As we could see, about half a second gap between majority of cars here, unless you're the Red Bull pair. And Sparky, keeping nice and close to Dustin. Just letting Dustin know, hey bud, I'm here with you. We can do this.
It's an interesting strategy from the Red Bulls. Obviously, they're one of the only drivers to start on the medium set of tyres. Everyone else taking the softs or the hards, apart from the other AlphaTauri taking the mediums as well. But as we said on the top of the broadcast, I don't expect these two to fight it out too badly. They obviously both want to win. Constructors aren't the main be-all and end-all here in PSGL like it is in some other racing leagues. But I think Sanya is going to make a move here on Napadovsky, by the way. They are very close to each other. And I think he will. And into turn 1, no, he sticks behind it. This is what we like to call some DRS chicken. As Adam makes his move past Julio.
I feel like we want to call it a little bit of a bump draft going down into turn 1. But noticing Sparky lifting there before entering the Casio triangle, so they're definitely holding position. But you've got to think, is Sparky sacrificing himself here potentially? Dustin seems to be falling off the back of his train, and Stephen Fruha in the Haas directly behind Sparky seems to be able to catch up and keep pace very well. If not, mounting pressure on Sparky here on the soft compound, it does need to be added.
Yes, obviously that both Haas cars on the soft set of tyres. It's kind of interesting battles here because we've got both Red Bulls versus both the Haas drivers. Obviously, Sanga's teammate is down in 11th place, and Napadowski doesn't even have his teammate today. So basically, those two are on their own to battle it out between each other. They'll be smart, they'll be intelligent, they know what their limits will be. As Dustin Vincent was definitely testing the limits of track limits going through that corner. There we saw some famous moments through that section of the track. Remember Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen in 2018 when Seb
Absolutely.
was on his rampage of hitting everything in sight. Not well, his own fault. He lost his head by that point.
There's,
If you remember what happened in 2018.
there was some very creative moves throughout the history of Suzuka, but someone who's going to be looking to try and make a creative move now is Sanya. Go down the inside before turn 1's breaking point even starts. Beautiful, clean
Brilliant.
overtake though with the help of DRS. Napadowski not putting up a fight, knowing these two have to work together in order to protect themselves from potential undercut from the Haas cars, because the undercut around here is absolutely huge. It is a bit ridiculous if I'm going to be completely honest with you here. It's
Well,
outrageous. You're looking at 6-7 seconds.
Yeah, it's about a 17-second pit stop around here, and as we know already from this game that the undercut is insanely powerful. It's nice to see people starting on the softs. We have a yellow flag for... Who is that? Is that
I believe
for
that was Alvaro.
Alvaro Fernandez dropping down positions. I don't know who he was battling with, but Adams made himself up into the points already. Julio really struggling to keep it on the circuit there. He's going to go see round the outside.
Surely not.
Can the Williams go round the outside? This is going to be rolled. Is he going to be
Oski,
brave?
behave
It's
yourself,
brilliant.
young man.
Oh,
And
the
Patrick in the
Mercedes wants to go as
background.
well. Patrick wanted to go, and he was not happy to give up those two positions, Julia, but I think he had to.
He had to. He got such a poor run.
Napadowski's made a move back.
Oh, but how long is it going to last, though? That's a real question.
Oh, not into 130R. Don't do it up the inside. Don't do it to him.
Do it.
Oh. Wouldn't see it. Now, when have we seen a Ferrari battle a Renault-powered Alpine before?
We've never seen a Ferrari battle a Renault-powered Alpine. Simply just because they're never on the same bit of track, and if they are, one of their engines are blown up from one of the teams.
Yes, that's true.
It's pot
but
which one.
Well,
but
this battle's allowed the Red Bulls to
I
close
was
in
about
here.
to say, look at how close Dustin's got. Maybe the tyres are also going off the edge. As a little bump draft there from Sanya just helps Napadowski enter into turn 1 a little easier. Now, of course, it does have to be mentioned that this isn't actual bump drafting. They're getting very, very close, but not close enough to cause an issue. As Alvaro, after that incident in the S section of Sector 1, calls it a day. Thinks, maybe this isn't a great idea. And that would also explain the reason why Dujo just got 8 up coming out of the hairpin. Did not have the downforce to get the traction. It's unfortunate, but there's all still to play for. There's every chance of a safety car. We know safety cars around here are quite common.
Yes.
A lot of it's down to the weather and the circumstances, but a lot of it is also down to some shunts, like we've seen in the past here.
So I've seen quite a few large shunts around this circuit. Obviously, the one that came to mind straight away was remember last year in 2022 when we had that big rain shower and Carlos Sainz put it into the wall, and very lucky not to get collected by any other driver. That was a huge shunt on that day. Lundell is very close to Daniel, here in the background, and he's not going to go around the outside. No one goes around the outside of 130R. Lundell, don't do it to him. Round the outside, there's not enough room there. Oh, I thought he was going to go for it for a minute.
I thought he was going to do the old switcheroo and try and get it around the outside of the Casio, but no, decides, hey, maybe I should just sit back. I'm just going to let it build. It'll come in time. I know I'm quicker.
We've got a few drivers battling for the lead of the race. P1 down to P8 is about separated by a second.
Yeah, it's not sure how to say it. I mean, we're getting a bit used to it, aren't we? We're being very spoiled here in F6 with the drivers being so close together, and quite often having these sort of trains. But something we don't see all too much is everyone on different tyre compounds throughout the train.
No, that is a very interesting thing. I've not really seen it before. Can we just make a quick mention to Julio, who may be down in 14th right now, but as you said, the undercut is powerful around this circuit.
Absolutely.
If these cars stick together like this, and we see some battling, and Julio can just have some clean air and put some lap times in, who's to say he's not in a position to still get points in this race?
Julio Figueroa could be looking a good handful of points if he's able to look after those tyres well. These guys end up having a bit of a ding-dong battle. It's an absolutely outrageous stint. There's a reason there's a tyre graveyard next to Suzuka. It's because we're not very good after the track, I'll be honest. This track absolutely shreds with tyres. You've got the likes of Spoon, you've got the S-curves, you've even got the Dunlop curve, which puts such an outrageous load.
Cool.
As I believe we see the Red Bulls swapping for positions.
Swapping positions, yes. Now that is a very interesting tactic. We've seen it a lot in Austria. We saw them swapping positions so much that we thought they were going to lose the race, but it ended up to be a strategic masterclass in the end by the Red Bull pair. But does that mean it's going to be Dustin is going to be under pressure from Fruha here? But Fruha won't want to dump his battery. He's not going to be that sort of driver to dump his battery. Daniel, on the other hand, Danico is one of the drivers to get past Lundell, as Sanga also gets past Napadowski, second into first for Sanga, and Napadowski into second. Sparky still running in third. Still everyone in the DRS range, which means they're basically dragging each other along, which does make it quite difficult for the other drivers behind that aren't in the DRS train, but are close enough to get affected by the dirty air, and that will definitely struggle. So Adam is going to start struggling very soon. I think all the soft runners are going to be struggling in the next few laps, that's for sure. As Fruha picks up the first 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, it does not surprise me that we're going to see a couple of time penalties added to the race here. Less than Austria, I can expect, but...
Oh, yes.
Definitely going to see a couple throughout the field. But just a quick mention. You mentioned about the slipstream with DRS pulling them along, but you also mentioned the dirty air. The dirty air on these cars is so much better, but it's still horrendous at points around this track. And a key factor and a key deciphering point for that is that Figueroa has been able to catch up by a second a lap so far.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what he needs to be doing. It's quite an incredible stint to do. Obviously, I don't think he'll go to the end on those set of tyres, but anything can happen. A late safety car could really change his race. That's for sure. What a exit Napadowski got off that corner. Just the amount of speed you can carry off of 130R now, just due to the being flat to the floor and the slipstream effect. Sanga really struggling with traction, as you saw, taking a real... just definitely did not have full control of their car, as Napadowski will easily retake the lead of the race. And we're seeing these swaps into turn one quite often. Adam is the first of the drivers to pit on the soft tyre. He's putting on the hards as well. So is he going to the end of the race on the hard tyre? I guess this undercut attempt is really going to work well. I'm curious to see how close Julio comes out to Adam. That will be very interesting.
It will be. I'll just keep an eye on the minimap as we're riding on board here with the Haas cars. Now, I'm no engineer. I'm no, I'm never on the pit wall. I'm never telling the drivers what to do. But it does look like Daniel has the pace at the minute over Fruha. I don't know whether he's looked after his soft tyres better, or maybe Stevens are just a little bit hotter by following the Red Bull in front. But it does look like Daniel has the pace here to definitely launch some sort of offensive and some sort of attack here.
Is that what your phone's telling you?
Yes. No, that'll be an important work email.
Well, no one cares about those. We're watching racing right now. Something interesting to mention here. First of all, Sparky is 2/10 behind Sanga, and they are closing in. Those soft tyres are coming to the end of their life. The most interesting thing I like to mention, Julio got ahead of Adam in the pit stops, and not by a small amount. He's almost a second ahead of them, the Ferrari man.
Yeah, able to pull his way through there. Similar to what we're seeing every time we go down into turn one. One of the drivers is definitely always trying to get something done, and it wouldn't surprise me here if we see in the background. Danico's very, very close. He's not gonna do it. He's very, very close, though. He gets a very good exit, and then the Hasses seem to just slightly pull away coming down the straight. Could lend Danny to maybe having a slightly higher downforce setup, but...
Do you reckon they're going hard-soft?
No.
It might be the case.
Surely not.
I wouldn't do hards. I stay away from the hards as much as I can. I would do medium soft personally, but that's just me.
I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, right? We're sitting here on the track cameras watching P7, and we still get to see P1 and P2 pass the cameras. That's a bit ridiculous, to be honest, isn't it? That's a phenomenal.
It is a bit mad.
Oh, but no, all these drivers having some sort of concertina effect with the tyres graining in, graining out throughout their entire lifespan here around the Suzuka circuit, because of the amount of load the tyres have to go through. The lateral G-force is pushing up against and down, pushing the car side to side, up and down throughout the entire track. It's very undulating. It's a bit like a roller coaster. I'm not just saying that because it's figure of 8. I'm saying that because of the amount of bumps.
And Danny Coe wants to go for a ride here on the roller coaster. He's getting a real good chance of taking these Haas cars. To be honest with you, Danny Coe's in a very good position. on this set of hard tyres, because the fact that everyone is so close to each other, the fact that these guys are on different tyres will change their strategies, of course, as Sanga and the Red Bull of who was that
Dustin.
pulled into the pits? Dustin, and the hat of Daniel all pulling into the pits at once. But yeah, my point on Daniel, my point on Danico here is he is so close to the drivers in front that if he pits and then comes out on a set of soft tyres a bit later on the race, there's not going to be a lot of gap in them, and he'll be on a set of softs, and the rest of them are going to be on sets of hard. Surely, because Dustin's on hards as well.
It could be very similar to what we saw with Freddie Rasmussen yesterday, but he did do it on the medium tyres. Had the last stint, the last little tear on brand spanking new medium tyres.
And we know how good new tyres are in this game.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if one of these drivers perhaps gambles a little bit and tries to take those soft tyres towards the end of a race coming from a hard set, because I mean, relatively speaking, there could be a little to lose for the likes of Patrick and Oski here, who were out the points before they had a couple positions gifted from the likes of Sanya, Dustin, Daniel, pitting. So there's a lot to gain from a little bit of risk here, and it'll be very interesting to see how the drivers handle this risk and really want to challenge and push themselves further.
Yeah, I'm curious to see as Norwich picks up a 3-second time penalty. There, a second time penalty. Napatowski surely has to cover off Sanga here. He can't stay out for any longer. It makes sense in my head. If they know how powerful the undercut is around this circuit, there is no need to stay out for another lap. You have to box this lap, and of course, everyone dives into the pits now. This is where the interesting thing is. Danico will take the provisional lead of the Japanese Grand Prix, followed by Lundell, followed by Nowicki, and everyone else will be now holding their breath to see where Sanga comes out of the pits. So where is Sanga? Where is our former race leader? And Napatowski coming down the pit straight now. He can turn off his pit limiter right now. There's Sanga in the background. Sanga, can he get him into turn one? I don't think he's going to be close enough on this occasion. And Sanga is not close enough at all. And he's only just got in front of Dustin as well.
But so
instead of Sparky.
Something to keep an eye on here, though, is that Sparky's ended up losing a position to Daniel, as I say that. But the medium compared to the hards, the Red Bulls have gone for the hard tyre. They're looking to push. While these medium tyres, they're going to last the race if they're looked after carefully. It'll be very interesting to see how that one plays out, because we know Dustin and Sparky, they do a lot of research into their strategies and their tyre compounds and really how they want to run the race. So it'll be very interesting to see whether they've made the correct call. Doubted them last week. I was wrong. They ended up picking up the 1-2. So,
to be fair, I think that was a mistake they said to us, wasn't it? They were meant to box onto the hards during the second pit safety car phase, but they didn't get them. But it kind of worked out in the end. Sanga looking for a move up the inside there. We've seen Ferraris try it before and not again. Don't want to relive those memories. Sanga, can he go around the outside of Napatowski here? This would be sweet, sweet revenge in Josh's head. Absolutely. But I don't think he'll think about it on this occasion. A little bit of a bump draft there, as Lundell takes the lead off of Danico, by the way. There's about to lead of the race going on, but that's just a turn 1 DRS straight. This is the provisional race lead going on right here. Where is Sanga going to make his move? Surely it's got to be into turn 1. It's the only place to do so. Or is it going to be a little bump draft down the back straight? No, not waiting around this time. Sanga around the outside takes 7th place, which is provisional, which is the provisional P1 at the moment.
I mean, we say that.
Everyone else not hitting. Well, it might not be.
But we really have no idea, to be honest, do we?
No, not at all.
Just going to real quickly swap back to this this front three who are stretching these hard tyres, potentially to a soft, but probably to a medium. But that'll be...
If a safety car came out for these guys, it'd be perfect.
Absolutely. Where's El Puma when you need him? But these these drivers absolutely going through it here on the hard tyres. I mean, credit has to be also given to Yannick on the medium tyres, being able to stretch them.
Great job.
You know, not necessarily keep pace, but keep within the wherewithal to split the front leading hard tyre runners and the rear leading hard tyre runners. He's just in a little world of his own in that AlphaTauri, isn't he, in P4 right now?
Yeah, he's kind of running a lonely race, to be honest with you. Patrick obviously has the other Williams for company, but yeah, as you said, Yannick not really having anything to worry about at the moment, apart from when he's going to be pitting and maybe what he's going to have for dinner tonight. As Lundell boxes. Well, now that is a bit of an early pit stop for the hard runners. That's going to be medium tyres, surely, to the end of the race for the Mercedes man. And he will come out massively behind this group of cars.
But it's whether these couple of laps here he's been able
Napadovsky.
to take the hard tyres. As Napadovsky, once again, getting the overtake going down into turn 1. It looks real easy. It looks real easy with the help of DRS here, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it is. It's a very easy move to make into turn 1. Obviously, we saw Kimi Raikkonen get up the inside there in 2005. That was his final move on the last lap of the race. You have to get up quite early to get up the inside of Fernando Alonso on the final lap of a Grand Prix, but I don't think Alonso had any tyres left, if I remember correctly. We have a yellow flag in the final sector of the track, and that is for one Giulio, who has spun it.
Yeah.
But he is carrying on. He's not giving up there. We like to see that here in F6. We don't like to see drivers give up straight away after a couple of mistakes. Obviously, if there's a major accident and you're really out of it, you got body damage and all that. Fair enough. I would call it quits. But you never know.
I mean,
what can happen in this sport.
It looks to be like that Aston Martin still looks in a pretty good condition. He's kept his front wing together, which is always a beautiful sight. Front wing still together. Doesn't count as commentator cars.
Technically, the front wing is still operational. But anyway, switching to Nowicki, who's battling with Danico, who pulls into the pits as well. That's surely to cover off Lundell's pit stop. Yeah, it's got to be. Lundell about 2 seconds off of the pack that has already made its set of pit stops. But yeah, Nowicki leads the Grand Prix as, just slowing it down there, his teammate, who gets it just slow down into the pits. So where is Danico going to come out? Is he going to come out ahead of Lundell? And he doesn't. Not by a large margin as well. 2.3 seconds. We said how powerful the undercut was.
I don't lie to you. Don't lie to you, Alex. The undercut is absolutely massive around here. Something else which might be a massive shout here is how long Nowicki's going to be able to keep those hard tyres alive. Currently in the lead.
He surely has to be going for softs now. I think I would have seen him pit otherwise. I think 13 seconds ahead of Napadovsky. Of course, that's not enough to make a pit stop. It's about 17 seconds. I don't expect Nowicki to pull out 17 seconds on Napadovsky because of tyre difference. Not because of skill difference. Nowicki is a very fast driver. But he does also have a 3-second time penalty hanging over his head later in the race. Another spin, I think, for Giulio.
It's not been Julio's day. It's not been Julio's day at all.
It's not been his day at all. It can happen. It happens to anyone.
Yeah, we know it happens to you, Alex, and to be quite honest, it'll happen to me as well. I'll do it in a GT car with traction control, so that's, yeah, that's all to play for. But as we see Sanya, once again, getting nice and close, going up to 130. Nowicki pits.
So surely that's another set of mediums. He can't take softs from there to the end of the race. Disappointed not to see anyone take a set of softs, go hard soft. I think it would have been an interesting strategy call. I understand why they didn't do it, but unless he's about to prove me wrong, nope, puts on set of medium tyres. Lundell, fast lap of the race, as Sanya into turn 1, a bit of a later move this time.
Yeah,
takes the lead of the race on lap 16. We like to see these cars swapping positions all the time. Adams found himself in points, by the way. He's currently P10. As Julio picks up a 3-second time penalty. There is maybe a case for him boxing this lap, but as I said, never give up in this sport. You never know what's going to happen. As Sparky, this is a man who will be making the moves because I think he's going to be a bit frustrated that he came out behind Daniel there due to the pit stop phase.
Yeah, absolutely. On the harder compound, so maybe towards the start of this stint, it wasn't looking too great. As I do believe, is that another cast curse? Indeed it is.
Oh, Adam.
Oh, Alex with another cast curse. See, wasn't me this time. But Adam ended up having a little trip to the gravel there coming out.
Is that on him though? Is that a mistake or is that an incident?
I mean, not too sure. Didn't really see too much of it. Looks like the rest of the drivers are within the same sort of delta as they were before. May have potentially just lost it going into the Dunlop curb, trying to carry a bit too much speed. But I
thought Napadovsky was going for a move into 130R. No. He looked very close on the map. But he might go down the inside. He won't. This is going to be incredible battles towards the end of this race. It's all going to kick off, I feel. Bit of a slide there from Sanya as well. And this is going to be an easy move. Oh my God, Sanya with a late defensive move. Not calling it there. And did not want to lose another position to Dustin behind. Was that a bit naughty from Sanya there? It looked it.
A little cheeky, a little swerve there. But it does have to keep in mind, Dustin and Sparky look outrageously quick on those hard tyres right now. They look like they've got the legs on everyone so far, as I believe Sparky there taking an alternative line compared to the House cars, trying to just carry more speed on the approach down here into Degner 1. As we're going to have a look. He's doing a tactical Fernando Alonso move, I like to call it. Weaving around in the rear view mirrors, just letting you know he's there. He's going to try and force you into an error without him having to do anything.
He goes up the inside. That's going to be late. It's going to be bold. Is it brave? It's fantastic from Sparky. I think there was a bit of team play going on there. I think Dustin held him up into the chicane, which gave Sparky the opportunity to basically make the move. But Daniel says he's not going to have any of that. They're going to go wheel to wheel through Spoon Curve. That's a fantastic battle. And Sparky keeps in front of him. That was definitely a bit of team play working there from the Red Bulls. That's how good these two are at connecting with each other. As Lundell won't have any of these problems. He knows there's two Haas cars in front of him, and arguably he's on the quickest tyre at the moment.
Absolutely. Lundell going to be looking here for a probably a move going down in turn 1. Don't expect to see too many more moves into the Casio chicane here. Purely because it would just ruin your run going down the main straight and you would get eaten by the cars behind. So I'd recommend, you know, last couple of laps try and go for a move there. But Lundell looks to be pacey as well. Back up to the back of these Haas cars. It's looking good for Lundell in that Mercedes. Although his teammate down there, P11 as well. On fresher mediums, we're going to have to see how the tyres wear. That's one thing we're going to have to keep an eye out for. If these medium tyres up at the front, which are 6 and 7 laps old, end up getting absolutely shot and really struggle.
Oh my God! Not the you can't go around the outside here. Surely Lundell.
Outside of Degner 1.
Oh, around the outside.
Beautiful!
What a move from the Merc man. He is rapid around this circuit. Obviously, the most constructor wins around this circuit goes to the Mercedes Giants, and they might be looking to add another one here. Lundell's on fire here. Can I just say, Napadovsky's decided he wants to win this race. He's checked out at the front.
I feel like Napadovsky has to try and pull that gap through. I mean, we saw him deploying the battery earlier. He basically had full battery, so it'll be time for him to try and deploy and build a little bit of a gap, because I don't think his race is going to be necessarily with the likes of Sanya or Daniel. I reckon it might be with the Red Bulls and Lundell here, with the pace Lundell showing here, being able to catch up to the back of him. And really put a fantastic move on Frufar. Frufar going for the outside there on Sparky.
That's going to be brilliant. But again, he's going to compromise his line coming out of the chicane. And this will give an easy run for Sparky. Surely you might think an easy run, but I don't think Sparky will consider it an easy run. Lundell might. Can Lundell squeeze his way past? It's Lundell around the outside.
Lundell, come on. Come off it, Lundell.
Lundell, oh my God. Lundell giving absolute excitement here of this race.
I thought for a second that Lundell was going to do the no-no and get a move done going into the first turn here at Suzuka. That would be absolutely outrageous.
Making it up the inside is outrageous. Making it around the outside is double outrageous.
That's
that was
unheard of. But Lundell, once again, showing he's got the pace in this Mercedes car, and he's really looking to upset the Red Bulls and Houses here. He's really upset the one House. Is he going to upset one Red Bull here?
He might do. To be fair, I've got to give... Oh, is Yannick for tyres? Safety car!
Safety car! Oh, very close there to Lundell hitting to the back of Sparky as well.
Yannick's hit it into... That's just coming out of the S section going up the left-hander. I think he's just...
It'll be the same place.
Gravel, yeah,
same place as Adam, going into the Dunlop curb there. It's very treacherous because of the hill climb.
Adam is boxing.
Adam's got a great opportunity here. So does Julio.
Ties,
both of them. Both of them. Surely. Hopefully. I mean, it looks like Adam's gone on the mediums.
New set of mediums. He doesn't exhaust for after the end of the race. That is a fair deal. Julio, actually, is Julio going to get lapped?
No, surely not.
It will be close.
It's soft ties for Julio. If Julio's going to get lapped, he's going to be looking to unlap himself.
Oh no! They're boxing!
I mean,
are they all boxing?
Oh no. Yes. Red Bull double
Everyone's
stack curse.
Boxing. But Haas are going to double stack as well. Oh, he's going to get held as well. Oh, he's just found a gap out there. That's very good. Don't think it'll hold him too badly. That's not a bad double stack from Red Bull there.
Look at the Haas cars here.
Oh, but is Sparky going to get in front?
Yeah.
Yes, just ahead of Fruha.
I'll tell you something else which might be excruciating for the drivers here. Sanya's on the mediums. 7 laps to go. By the time safety car comes in, we're looking
Does he
at
not have any softs left?
maybe 3-4 laps to go when safety car comes in.
Why didn't Sanja box for softs?
I'm not sure. I mean, Sparky's also
Oh,
on the medium tyre as well.
Did he only have one set of new softs left?
Potentially.
And he used it at the start of the race.
Potentially. It might... This is really, really well played into the Red Bull hands here of Dustin and Sparky, both from using the harder compounds at the start, which adds more of a question on why Sparky's gone onto the medium tyre. I don't know. Maybe it's something we can get an earful in an interview after the race. Really trying to understand why that happened. But my word, does this look like we're going to get a great restart or what?
Well, it's going to be a longish safety car because Adam is about a minute off of the pack, and Julio is 11 seconds off of him. Or Julio, sorry if I'm saying that name wrong, I do apologize. Julio is just reading it in my head, that's what it says. Yeah, they're both about a minute off of the rest of the pack. I imagine they're going to catch them for a restart lap 22, maybe lap 23, as you said.
Yeah.
And then that's a sprint to the finish. Because
But,
it takes 3 laps until DRS comes back on, which means DRS will activate lap 25 or lap 26.
Absolutely, and that'll definitely make moves into the Casio Triangle a lot more valid and a lot more worth it if there's not a DRS for the cars behind to get a real slingshot.
Up the inside.
But
yes.
do have to keep an eye out here for what's been probably my driver of the day so far. Lundell in the Mercedes, overtaking Maestro, who's shown it in the last 5 rounds here at PSGL F6. Is he going to be able to put another masterclass? Maybe, just maybe, get an overtake around the outside of turn 1.
Yeah, he's been spectacular this afternoon. I haven't really seen any other driver that deserving of driver of the day so far in terms of overtaking at all. Yeah. Lundell's been fantastic.
You've got the obvious calls for Napadovsky, Sanya leading. We've got Dustin and Sparky and the Red Bull showing great teamwork.
Danico's done a good job as well.
Absolutely, getting himself up to P6 there because of the double stacking Red Bull and Haas. I do believe that would have helped him out massively. But Danico's just been up there on a slightly different strategy to most of the field, but he's been able to make it work, and now this will be his time. But I don't think you want the car of Lundell in front of you unless you're going to be looking to try and follow him through, which...
You got to. I think that's what you got to in this situation. With so little laps to go in this race, and obviously Lundell has proven how quickly he can overtake cars. If I'm Danico, I'm thinking, right, if I can just stick to the back of Lundell, and Lundell's just carving up the field, and Danico can get a bit more of that, fighting spirit through the pack with him, then it should be easy pickings for him. I think Sanga is in the worst position at the moment. Having those medium tyres on, they are technically the best race tyre in the game, but with so little laps to go, and your car is going to be running on very low fuel by the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean,
is it a risk?
Sanya's doing everything he can to try and fill Napadovsky's mirrors up, just trying to cause a little bit of tension. Now, both of these drivers have the ET8 clan, so that makes me think that, perhaps they race together in other leagues and other competitions, which perhaps could play on the mind of Napadovsky. If Sanya's really going to be able to go for it on a set of medium tyres, Napadovsky would know if Sanya's got the pace on those mediums to maybe try and get a little jumpy move going down into turn 1, or maybe into Diagonal 1, if we're looking for a very ballsy and audacious move. It wouldn't surprise me. We've seen Sanya go for moves like this. As for safety car comes in his lap, it's looking good.
Well, who is going to try it on the first lap of a safety car restart here? We've seen it before. We'll see it again. Safety cars, as Josh always says, leads to safety cars. We hope that's not the case on this occasion. Soft tyres through the whole grid, bar 3 drivers, and one of those drivers being Sanga, who's currently in 2nd place. When will Napadovsky choose to go? Sanga is waiting for the opportunity, and he might have caught him. I think Napadovsky caught the grass on the outside, and now we head down into turn 1. They're all following through on the marbles. Sanga goes up the inside of Napadovsky. There wasn't enough room there, surely, and he lost a lot of positions. That was a ballsy attempt for an overtake move, and he's lost one to Dustin Vincent. Sanga, what were you thinking?
He had to go for it, though, didn't he? He's on the medium tyres. He knows Napadovsky's going to pull away when he gets to the this sweeping corners here, and especially the Dunlop curve. He's going to lose so much traction compared to the soft tyres. He had to try and do something. Napadovsky covered him off, but Sanya thought, this is the only opportunity I'm going to be able to get. I might as well try it on the grass. It was very, very brave indeed. Fortunate not to end in an accident, but boy, oh boy, was it something. And it gave Dustin an opportunity to get through, and we know what Dustin's like when he gets in these opportunities. He is vicious. He has the predatorial instinct of a viper. He will strike you if he has a chance. So it'll be all about Napadovsky trying to keep this gap, trying to ascend himself further away from the field, while the rest of the drivers are trying to ascend up to the back of him. Just try and get a little whiff of a DRS down that main straight when it comes time to open.
Yeah, DRS will be enabled on lap 24. Obviously, DRS not enabled until 3 laps after a safety car restart. But yeah, 9/10 between Dustin and Napadovsky. Sanger keeping in touch with the car in front, but he's got more things to worry about behind him than he does in front, including this man, currently Josh's driver of the day. Can Lundell make a move into turn 1 here on Daniel? He's draining his ERS. He's closing in. He's closing in. He's closing in. He's going to close in enough for a move into turn 1. No, he sticks behind him for another lap. He's not making any rash moves into turn 1. And he wants to stick behind the driver as long as he can, as Dustin is now a second behind Napadovsky, as Napadovsky looks to check out of the Japanese Grand Prix. He checked out once, he's checking out a second time. He had to go back into the hotel, he lost something.
As I believe Julio's had an accident in the S-curves here around Suzuka once again. Very unfortunate race overall from Julio, but all eyes should be on this fantastic battle we've got brewing here for what potentially could have been a race win, but it looks like it'll be more of a P2 because Napadovsky's absolutely checking out. He's at the hotel. He's already on his flight by the looks of it. He's going to do everything in his power, but Sanya is also able to keep pace here with Dustin on the harder compound, on the medium tyres, which we may have thought could have been a bad decision, but they seem to have warmed up nicely, and it looks like he's got just as much grip as the cars around him, which is absolutely fantastic to see.
Maybe those softs won't last as long as we think, and obviously Sanya had to make that move on Napadovsky on the opening exchanges. Oh, very late defense there, but beautifully parking Dustin's car. Dustin looking good in the Red Bull right now. And Sanya down the back straight will have an opportunity. Adam gets a 3-second time penalty. DRS wide open, and there's nothing Dustin can do about it. Sanya into turn 1 takes second place. And I think he's going to charge down Napadovsky here, and has Ferrari, for the first time in their history, pulled a strategic masterclass.
No. Straight and simple, I don't think so. I feel like Napadovsky knows he's got this lovely little buffer here, and now the DRS is open for the next lap, so it wouldn't surprise me if Dustin's going to be looking to try and get another move done. I can't picture Dustin wanting to really work with Sanya here. Napadovsky was able to pull away from him on sheer pace, and there's a 3/10 window in order to get the DRS, so it will be whether Sanya can be able to pull that back by himself on these last couple corners, should say last sector really, shouldn't I, of the Suzuka circuit.
This is still the middle sector.
Yeah, this is still the middle sector, but it'll be
it's a long middle sector.
All the time Sanya's going to have to try and get is going to be on this final sector, purely because these medium tyres... These medium tyres don't have too much grip going through Spoon Curve, but he was able to get the traction down beautifully. Napadovsky seems to be struggling being able to put the power down. Maybe his tyres just haven't warmed up properly. Maybe he warmed up a bit too quick.
I think they're wearing already. I think they're overheating. I think they're wearing. I think this is been correct decision. The medium tyres might have been the correct choice, or is Sanger just proving how much of a quality driver he is, and driving to what he has been given, and he's been given those mediums, and he's making them work, and now he's in the DRS. It's only a matter of time, surely. We know how powerful DRS around this circuit is, and we thought Sanya had thrown it all away on the opening lap of the restart, but it's lap 25, and it's 0.4 of a second between the race lead and second place.
Yeah, it looks like it's been perhaps a strategical masterclass. There's a reason we're not engineers. I'll keep saying it. But it looks very close. Napadovsky's either deciding to hold up his battery, or he's maybe trying to play some sort of tactical games, perhaps trying to back Sanya off, or maybe Sanya is just that rapid on these medium tyres, and it'd be an absolutely fantastic opportunity for Sanya to be able to try and get a move done on his fellow ET8 teammate. Obviously not teammates for this league, hence the different liveries, but could we potentially see a bit of redemption for the Ferrari going around the outside in 130R? I can only pray.
I think we could do.
I can only pray.
This is what Josh used to dream of back in the day when we saw the Renaults winning in 2005 and in 2006. Ferrari were robbed of victories in one of those years. Can Sanya bring some hope to the Scarlet Red? Will he go up the inside of 130R? He won't on this occasion. Will he go around the outside of the chicane? He brakes late. He's going for the move around the outside. He's made it stick and he's made it past. He's pushed Napadovsky a bit wide, but they
Napadovsky was
still
still there.
battle wheel to wheel. There's DRS enabled for one of the drivers, and it's the Ferrari of Sanya as they're both dumping battery.
Dustin!
Piston up the inside. He goes up the inside of Napadovsky and makes the move. He's off into second, but they still battle. They battle it out for second place, and now he's lost not only second, but he's lost third. Napadovsky's falling down the order.
He's lost
down to
fourth.
fifth. He's lost all.
Could
It's
he
all
lose
gone wrong
fifth
in the-
here? I'm seeing Sparky there in Red Bull on the medium tyres as well. Napadovsky's had an absolute howl through that first section, but my word, was it a fantastic opportunistic move from Dustin to be able to get down the inside.
Oh, Sparky's round.
Oh,
Sparky's
no!
round in the background. He went for a move up the inside of Danico, which didn't work. He did what Lundell tried to do, but there wasn't gap on this occasion. He's still in the points, though. But what happened to Napadovsky off that restart? Dustin, what a launch. He used all his badge. He's got nothing left. But we're on the penultimate lap of the race. And there's still a chance Dustin can nick this.
But still a chance. Dustin, of course, runner-up last time out. Sparky ended up grabbing the win. Maybe Dustin will be able to grab his vengeance here. Obviously, the two Red Bull drivers are great friends. They know each other very well, and I'm sure Sparky will be very glad to be able to see Dustin take a win here and take his first win of the season.
Can Daniel do it?
I mean,
Daniel's 3/10 behind. This is a real chance for Daniel still to win this Grand Prix, but he needs to get on with it if he's going to do it.
not only
Can
Daniel,
Dustin-
but Emil Lundell as well.
Well,
Oh
this
my
we're on to the
word.
final lap of the Japanese Grand Prix as we head down the back straight. Look at Sanya. He's already pulled to the inside, but I don't think there's anything he can do about it. Daniel takes second place and he's in to the podium positions. He might still win this one. There's still a chance, but it's going to have to be a move into 130. Other flashing lights on both Sanya and Dustin's car. And it's anyone's race victory, but Daniel
Daniel's
doesn't have
still
a lot
got
of
plenty.
ERS.
He's still got plenty more, though. That's the key part. He's got this 10% more. When your ERS falls below 10%, you deploy slightly less than the other drivers around you. So Daniel's got the pace advantage on the straight. We could very well be looking at a move into 130R.
He's going to have to make it work.
My 2006 memories might be absolutely... they might be coming back just with a Haas car.
Retires.
Oh.
Nowiki's retired from the race. He had such a good afternoon. The Haas car is really close now.
Look at
to
Lundell
the
as well.
Ferrari.
Oh no.
Lundell is challenging Dustin as well. And Josh, yes.
Oh,
Josh from 2006. Josh from 2005 is about to relive the worst moment of his life. If Daniel could pull it off. Heading down the back straight now. This is all or nothing for the Haas man. It's all or nothing for Daniel.
Daniel
He
knows
has
it.
to make
He's dumping the
move
battery.
to 130R. He's deploying everything he's got. 2/10 now. Can you do it, Daniel?
He's so
Have you got
close.
the bottle?
No way. Daniel
Wheel
on
to
the
wheel.
outside.
Daniel looking for him around the outside. He's found grass and nothing else. And that surely will be the last opportunity for him. And he tried it. He tried his best. Can Dustin take him off the line? No, he can't do it. Lundell can't do it either. Fruha can't do it either. And he was so close across the line.
Keep an eye on Sparky and Oski here. Still
Sparky
fighting
and
right
Oski
up to the
close.
very end there.
And Adam gets a point due to time penalties. Oh, Daniel. He thought he had it for a moment.
Daniel,
But there was no
pushing-
room around the outside.
Literally pushing Sanya through a 130R. I thought it was going to tap him round. Oh, Sanya with a little bit of a cheeky defense, if I do say so, going into the braking zone for Casio, just squeezing Daniel on the grass. Daniel will not be happy about that, and I'm sure the steward's going to have a little bit of work to do for this race weekend. But my word, what a brilliant race. Suzuka, well done again, yet again, delivered. Welcome back to the PSGL calendar, and I am so grateful to have you back for our debut commentary here, Alex.
Oh, well, what can you say? We get banger after banger this season, haven't we?
Absolutely. Oh, Napadovsky again, not on the podium.
Oh,
We're terrible.
what happened on those last few laps?
It all seems just to unravel, fall away from him. He looked so in control. He managed to pull out a 1.6 second lead, and it just wasn't there, was it? Absolutely fantastic driving, though, from everyone, from likes Daniel, Sanya, Lundell, Danny. Every single driver on that grid has been absolutely fantastic tonight, creating some great racing opportunities. and leading to the results you're about to see after, of course, we have our podium celebrations. For the 3 drivers here, my word. I need a breather. I need a drink. That was absolutely an outrageous Grand Prix.
Yeah, outrageous indeed.
See Sanya lifting the trophy with a scarlet red outfit, once again finding himself back on the top step. It's been a couple races without him on the top step, going all the way back to Bahrain in the second round, but he's found the top step once again, and he's going to be looking to do a bit of justice to the championship standings. But running you through the order, we've got Sanya with a race win, Daniel with a P2, Dustin with P3, Lundell pulling off some fantastic overtakes to get himself all the way up into P4, Napadovsky having a little slip of perhaps concentration. We'll have to find out what happens to him for next week. All the way in P5, Frufart P6, Danico P7, Sparky P8, Oski on his debut, I believe, in P9. Brilliant racing so far. Looking forward to see what he's able to do over the coming weeks. And Adam rounds out the top 10, grabbing himself a point there based on a couple penalties from in front of him.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. We never get any better racing here than at PSGL F6. So very pleased once again.
I mean, we
for
couldn't
another
bring you
fantastic race.
We could not bring you this brilliant racing without our sponsors, GT Omega. I need a breather. That race was something else, wasn't it? It felt like
hang on.
back in Austria.
We got it for an exciting race. I think there's only one thing it deserves.
Oh no!
Right, are you ready?
Is this what I think it is again?
Here we go.
Alex, just not over by me.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, right.
Sorry, it was really loud. Ow, that hurt my fingers. I'm okay. I'm fine. Oh, it's everywhere again. That's
word.
fine. That's tomorrow's problem.
That's a problem for later, not right now, because after that Grand Prix, my word, my heart is racing. I thought for a minute Daniel was going to get him around the outside. That was absolutely brilliant. But no, as you guys are mentioning in the YouTube chat, there's a potential for some interviews. We're going to be able to see who wants to get interviewed here for the F6 stream. And
Dustin and Sanya are both in the interview room.
Absolutely. Do you want to pull Dustin in first?
I will. Yeah, I'll pull him in. Right. Where is he? Move to which comment? Yeah, with that one.
Dustin. Oh,
he's definitely muted at the moment. Oh no. It's okay. He'll realise he's in here in a minute.
He's calculating.
There he is.
Go. Hello, Dustin. How you doing, my friend?
Hello. Yeah, I'm fine, but it was a sweaty race.
Very sweaty. We were getting sweaty commentating it. That was absolutely brilliant.
Oh my goodness.
My word. I mean, how did you find that? Everyone was in like half a second of each other from P1 to P8 for basically the entire race. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah, it was basically like an esports race, like tier 1, because the train, it was so close all the time. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just done, to be honest. I'm just done.
Yeah, it was a brilliant race. It was really, really well done. So fair play to you.
Let's talk about tyre strategy for a moment. So you and your teammate both started on the medium tyres.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw a lot of different tyre strategies. A lot of people starting on the softs, a lot of people starting on the hards. You were one of only one other driver that started in the medium. So what was your thoughts behind your medium tyre start?
To be honest, I wasn't quite sure what tire to start with, but I thought the medium would be a good guess because I could have undercut the soft runners on lap 8, go to hards, had a massive gap. I was practicing with some guys from F2, and we all thought that the yellow tire, so the medium, was faster in around lap 3 to 4 compared to the softs. So it was like not losing too many positions. 1 or 2 is okay. But after that, I knew that my tires would be a little bit better and it would get better over the race time.
Absolutely. Just come into after safety car went on the soft
Yeah.
tires. Now we saw Sanya and also your teammate Sparky going on the medium
Yeah.
tires, and the medium tires look to work really well. But I'm very curious to know how you got those soft tires to keep going, because by the looks of it, the likes of Napadovsky ended up really struggling with being able to keep the tires alive and fresh and being able to push. He ended up getting so much. I don't know whether it was tire deck, I don't know whether it was a fall off point, or maybe a bit of overheating, but he just seemed to really struggle trying to get the power down through a lot of the corners.
I think it wasn't the tire deck. I thought Arian has gone for the move on the second lap after the safety car restart, and I just thought, I will go to the inside and go for P2. And I think there was little contacts, little wheel banging, but I think it's nothing too hard.
That was a great
And
move. Yeah, that was good.
yeah, thank you. And I really think that after the contact, Napadovsky had quite some grass on his tires and lost positions on that.
Okay.
And the soft tires were pretty good at the end. I mean, I started with 3% on the tires, so it was pretty okay. And I thought, 6 or 7 laps with a near empty car on fuel would be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to work. End up bagging your P3, so you can't complain too much. But no, there was a lot of opportunistic moves throughout that entire race.
But mediums would have been better.
Yeah. I mean, the way Sanya was... Napadovsky pulled out such a big gap, and then Sanya just reeled him back in so quickly. All that happened within the space of a lap, and then the DRS activated, and I mean, know the rest. You put off probably one of the moves of the season so far.
You had a great 3-wide moment into turn 1 with Daniel and was it Daniel? No, it was Napadovsky and Sanya, wasn't
it's
it?
Napadovsky and Sanya. Napadovsky was in the middle.
Yeah, and then obviously Daniel got you back. Did you think at any point that you saw the two battle on the last lap, and did you expect Daniel to go for a move into 130R, and you thought, oh, maybe there'll be there'll be some scraps to pick through to take a victory, or did you what were your thoughts going on to that last lap?
I thought about it because I had a pretty decent run out of Spoon Corner, but the Mercedes behind me, he had more ERS and I had to cover. So it was basically, if they collide and both crash out, okay, I'll take it. But P3 is the best I could get, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
because Lundell was rapid as well.
Yeah, Lundell. He pulled
awesome pace.
Fantastic overtakes. He went around the outside of Degner 1, which I don't think...
What?
I don't think I've seen before.
I think it was on Sparky as well, wasn't it? Was it on Sparky?
It might have been.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely outrageous overtake. He was pulling moves left, right, and centre. And for the safety car restart, I was worried. I was worried he was going to try an audacious move, and I was expecting someone to try and put it around the outside of 130R. But thankfully, I don't believe we had too many people go too wide through there. No, absolutely fantastic race. Well done. Now
it was awesome.
You should know our ritual by now of asking you what's the moment of this race that you're going to look back later tonight and think, that was brilliant.
I think you know which move. The 3 wide into turn 1. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know if I can say what I want to say because language wise. But I think
it was flipping amazing.
It was the move that we're
the move.
Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah. So what is the next round, Josh?
Imola.
Yeah. I mean,
well, he knows better than we do.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, you're on a bit of a roll here, Dustin. You've got 3 podiums in a row now, a P2, a P2, and a P3. Where are you going to get this win? Is Imola going to be the one where you're going to be able to get a win?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't think so, because I hate Imola. I hate it, and it's like one of my worst tracks with Baku. And just get a quite decent qualifying in, and take everything I can get. Go for opportunities that are doable, I would say so.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
just get a good result in.
There's also change of conditions there as well, so you never know what's going to happen with the
Yeah.
weather-wise.
There's
So,
changing conditions everywhere, mate. At this point,
well, unlike Saudi, might not in Saudi Arabia
you never know.
when we get there.
You never know.
I think everyone
Yeah.
would quit if it was raining in Saudi Arabia. Let's be honest.
No, I won't because I love this track. Saudi Arabia, Jeddah is my favorite track
Even in
of all
even in
time.
the wet.
Even in the wet, I will take it.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll get people on the phone so we can get that a wet race.
Okay.
Get my water buckets on the track.
Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for joining us, Dustin. It's always a pleasure, man.
Thank you. Thanks for commentating. Thank you so
More
much.
than welcome.
course.
Last stream was awesome to watch, and
you're
I will
welcome.
have a blast this
Would you,
night.
Dustin? Would you like a party popper to celebrate your P3? Because I have
What?
some party poppers.
He's got party
Um,
poppers. He's,
I'll set
Yeah, I'd
one off
like
for
to.
you.
we had a
There
little
you go.
birthday
Yeah, awesome.
celebration.
I'll take
So,
that.
Hang on, I'll just
it's
get one
better
out of the
than
bag.
champagne. It's better
Right,
than
there we go.
champagne.
All right, setting one off for you. You'll see it on the stream later.
Thank you.
There
Thank
we
you
go.
so
There we
much.
go.
God, I should really stop setting those off. Someone's gonna think I'm getting.
Okay.
Anyway,
thank you so
thank you,
much,
Dustin.
guys.
Thank you very much, Dustin. Brilliant race. Best of luck for next
Thanks.
weekend. Fingers crossed it won't be too much like Imola, and you'll be able to
Thank you.
you'll be able to pull something out of the bag. I believe in you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you,
Take
guys.
care.
Right, so we'll get Sanya in now, shall we?
I know, lovely bloke again.
A
Like,
lovely bloke.
Every,
We love.
every single person we've interviewed, absolutely lovely. But yes,
Right,
no,
I'm gonna bring Sanya in, even though
Yeah,
he's live right
he
now
is
in the
live-
chat.
he's
I'm
live
gonna bring
streaming.
him in.
okay.
Anyway, we're gonna ruin his live streaming session.
Yeah.
Sanya.
Hello, Sanya.
Oh, hello.
Apologies for dragging you in with a live stream there, my friend.
I just want to say it is Sanga.
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 Yeah.
We say it right sometimes and say it wrong other times,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I've heard.
we get it right 50% of the time.
I'd say
Yeah,
less
but now
than
you're-
that, but
Now you're the race winner at Suzuka, and I can tell you that if little Josh was here right now, he'd be very happy
I would
to see a
be.
Ferrari win around Japan. So
first
you've
time
done a
in
good
while.
job.
Yeah.
Yep, just for him.
Yeah, thank you. It touches my heart. Thank you so much. But no, how was that race for you? How did that feel? I mean, dare I say on the medium tyres at the end, did you think you made a mistake when you saw everyone else go to the softs?
Nah, because I had only used tires and Napadowski also had more used tires, and everyone had used tires. And then I would have been on the softs at the start, so I already knew they would drop off.
Okay. So it was very calculated, the decision making
Yeah,
to go onto the
yeah,
mediums.
exactly.
I mean,
It was a Ferrari masterclass,
Yeah.
as I suspected.
Pretty rare, but you know.
yeah, I was only reminded of that one, mate. But yeah, no, you're P1 once again. Last time was around Bahrain.
Yep.
Alex's camera's just decided to go oof itself. That's fine.
It does
but
that.
Next round, Imola, right? Not going to talk too much about Imola because we've still got a lot to divulge about this race. But how confident are you for Imola?
I haven't even touched the track.
Haven't touched it. Right.
No.
So brimming with confidence, you're going to absolutely smash it.
Yeah,
beat everyone.
exactly.
Yep.
Lovely.
It's Ferrari's home race, which means Ferrari
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
do 10 times better there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that means you got to win.
Just need Adam to do better.
Bit hard.
Yeah, Adam had a tough race, didn't he?
Yeah,
I know.
Adam's been unfortunate so far. I mean, I always get reminded back to Brazil when you guys were leading. The teamwork you guys shown there was absolutely brilliant, and
Yeah.
Adam's just not been able to really get back in that groove. Do you two practice much outside together?
Yeah, we're friends outside of this,
Yeah.
so we practice with each other.
Yeah.
guess.
No,
Yeah.
definitely something to work with there. Both you
Yeah,
guys,
exactly.
both you
exactly.
guys bouncing off one another. Very similar
Yeah,
to what
exactly.
we see in the Red Bull camp as well. Both of them tend to bounce off each other. They'll go borrow people
Exactly.
from the likes of F2, F3, grab them in, learn off them. But I'm not even sure where to start with your race, mate, because it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, dare we say with the Napadowski move?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
how
yeah. So
fast was your
let's talk about that
heartbeat?
one.
How
Yeah.
fast?
I had it all calculated out. I can't lie. Yeah.
Pythagoras' theorem, got it all sorted.
exactly.
Knew exactly where everything was going.
I wanted to overtake him in the chicane, so I was ahead outside the corner, and he wouldn't have DRS. And
Yeah.
then I thought he was the fastest out of everyone. He would get overtaken by the people behind as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he after you overtook him, he just dropped back. He went
Yeah,
down
I,
to
yeah, I saw what happened.
5th place.
Yeah,
But
it's pretty
yeah,
unfortunate what
but
happened.
before you got that move done, let's talk
Mm.
about the attempted move up the inside of
Yeah.
turn 1 on the safety car restart. Did you honestly believe that you could get that move done up the
Yep,
inside, or
I did. I did.
It's calculated.
Then I watched it back, and it was very outrageous. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a good attempt.
absolutely.
Like honestly, that's one of those things that you go for in racing. But obviously, it didn't matter too much because you stand here victorious. But yes. So that last lap, you're defending against Daniel, and you don't have a lot of ERS left to spare, and the only move he can make is into 130R. Did you expect him to go up the inside of 130R in that corner?
not
Or...
really. I thought he would just go for the chicane instead. Try to do something around the chicane. But I don't think 130R, so I just left my car in the middle of the track.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, we saw him in braking zone for Casio as well. You broke in a straight line, slightly veering off towards the left. Daniel perhaps locking his rear brakes, getting squeezed on the grass a little bit.
Yeah, I don't really see the grass, but
Yeah, exactly. It's just runoff. It's AstroTurf.
exactly.
I thought it was a little cheeky defensive move, but end of the day, didn't hurt anyone. There was really no space for him to go on the outside. But no, absolutely brilliant, stellar defense on the last lap, and altogether it was a really, really solid race from you, mate. So well done.
Pretty solid, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is your first time being interviewed by us. And
It is.
We tend to have a little thing that we do with whoever we interview, where we ask you for a certain highlight from a Grand Prix, where you can pick one moment, look back later in the evening, maybe next week as well, and just think, you know what, that was absolutely brilliant. What would that moment be for you
On this race,
from this race?
probably the overtake on Lapadovsky, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the attempted overtake on Napatos.
No,
I remember that one.
we forget about that one.
But yeah, no, it was a great race, and hopefully you'll enjoy watching it back because it was great for us to watch on stream. But yeah, quickly before we move on as well, before I let you go. So a lot of people were using different tire strategies in that race. You started on the softs with Napadovsky, and did you think that you're going to go soft hard, or what was your thought panel? Was it soft hard already? Like that was nailed in from the start?
I can't lie. I was on race director at the start, just looking what everyone else was doing. I had no idea what strategy to go, so I just copied everyone else.
I mean,
I saw softs.
It does work.
I kept softs, so we just went with it. And then I knew mediums after that because I wasn't going to go into the hards.
Yeah, no, we saw so many people run the hard tires, and
yeah,
they
no
looked
one likes
like
the
it
hard
with a
tires.
ball, like they were not happy.
It's rubbish at Japan. Just what I heard.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I feel like that's everything from me. Alex, you got any more questions?
Nope, that's it. I've run out of questions.
Run out of questions. I mean, to be quite honest, mate, almost a flawless race. I'm looking forward to see what you can do around Imola, because I mean, we've seen you around similar tracks, so it'll be very interesting to see what you're capable of. I expect you the best. Expect you to raise the Ferrari flag nice and high. But no, congratulations on your win. Very well done.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing you next week in the interview booth after you end up getting the win.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
absolutely.
For Ferrari, I guess.
No Ferrari bias at all from
No,
Josh.
none, zero.
1-2 with Adam.
Absolutely.
If he can finally do something.
He put it P1 in Austria. In qualifying.
Well, I know what happened to him after that.
Yeah, well, that was a wild Puma.
Puma was with me. That's what.
Oh, was Puma you?
Oh,
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely brilliant, mate. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for the interview. It's been absolutely wonderful catching up with you.
Yeah,
And,
you too. You too.
Best of luck for Imola.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
There you go. Again, lovely. My God, people need to stop being so nice in F6. I'm getting emotionally attached to these lot. They're all brilliant.
I know.
They're lovely. But yeah, no. What an absolute fantastic race we had here. Hopefully, the other divisions have had a better race as well.
We have the best race though.
We've got the best commentators. What can I say?
We've got party poppers. We've got
poppers, cake.
We've got cake. Look,
Ferrari winning. What else?
Yeah,
do you need?
what else do you need? Honestly. But yeah, so where are we? Obviously, we mentioned it a few times, but we are in Imola.
Yes.
Next time.
Absolutely.
It's quite a round trip to Imola, from Japan.
It'll be a long walk. Very long.
It's
walk.
definitely a long walk, yeah, because we had to walk here because we couldn't get a train.
They cancelled the train.
They did, yeah. Walking through China and then walking through Korea
Yeah.
It was quite tricky, but we got there in the end.
We did it. We got there.
Yeah.
But
Got
no,
there in the end.
something else we should mention real quick as well is down in the description, come and join us in the Discord because we've got the second half of this calendar released. So we know, because there was a little cut-off point after round 5 where it was kept in a bit of suspense, so you didn't really know the last couple's tracks. But we've got them now. They're all unveiled.
Yeah.
Come and join the Discord. You can find out. You can plan around. Have a look, see if you can set any time trial lap times and try and beat the qualifying times for a couple of the tracks ahead because some of them are looking very, very scrummy. I'm not going to lie.
Try and beat our lap times.
It's not hard. It's really
well, maybe not. Maybe not for Josh. But I was...
well, okay, right, there we go. All right, okay. Round
I'm
I'm
joking.
going to set a blasting lap time.
A Michael Schumacher lap time around him.
Absolutely. You're going to look at it and think, Yana Watmere did it. That's what I'm saying.
You know, maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe I borrowed him for a day.
Yeah.
But that's enough rambling from us here. Thank you very much for joining us here at the PSGL F6 stream. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you for joining me, Alex. It's been fun.
Of course.
And hopefully, fingers crossed, we get slightly less webcam issues. And we're able to keep the same standard of racing that we saw tonight because tonight was absolutely brilliant. Very fair, very balanced, absolutely lovely. I don't think I've got any more comments, though.
No. Should I set off one last party popper for good measure?
Ben. Come on, Ben. Come on.
One for the road.
Give us a party.
One for the road. All right.
Uh-oh.
This is This is going to be a big one, everyone. All right. There we go.
Oh, there we
go.
More mess to clean up.
More mess to clean up, but
thank you everyone for joining us.
That's us.
That is us. Over and out. Thank you. Join us same time next week here on the channel F6. We'll be ready for you, bringing you some more brilliant racing. Thank you very much, all.
Cheers, guys.
See ya.